What if I told you that success is not about doing big things, but about doing small things every single day? Many people wait for the perfect moment, the big chance, or a huge change. But what if that idea is completely wrong? Today, on Daily English Audio, you will discover a simple truth that can change your life step by step. Look at this idea carefully. When you try to put one big rock into an empty jar, it does not work well. But when you start with small stones, slowly and patiently, the jar fills up perfectly. This is how real progress works in life. Small steps are not weak, they are powerful. They build habits, confidence, and long-term success. Many people believe that big success comes from big actions, but real life shows a different story. When you try to change everything at once, you often feel tired, stressed, and disappointed, and this can make you stop completely. For example, if someone decides to study 10 hours every day from the first day, it sounds strong and impressive, but in reality, it is very hard to continue, and after a few days, they may lose motivation. On the other hand, small steps are easy to start and easy to repeat, and repetition is the secret of progress. When you do something small every day, like studying for just 30 minutes, reading a few pages, learning 5 new words, or practicing one simple skill, your brain starts to accept this action as a normal part of your life. Over time, this small action becomes a habit, and habits are very powerful because they do not need strong motivation every day. In fact, small steps reduce fear because they do not look difficult, and when something feels easy, you are more likely to start and continue. Also, small progress gives you a feeling of success again and again, and this feeling builds confidence slowly but strongly. Think about a jar. If you only focus on putting one big rock, you may fail, but if you add small stones every day, the jar will fill naturally without pressure. Life works in the same way. Success is not a sudden moment. It is a result of many small actions repeated over time. This idea is supported by many successful people who say that consistency is more important than intensity. When you stay consistent, even with small effort, you move forward every day, and after weeks or months, the results become surprising. Small steps also help you learn from mistakes because the risk is low, and you can adjust your actions easily. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel in control, and this control keeps you going. In the end, the power of small steps is not just in what they do today, but in what they build for tomorrow, because every small action is like a stone that creates a strong and stable future. Another important idea about small steps is that they create strong habits, and habits shape your entire life more than motivation ever can. Motivation is like a wave. Sometimes it is high, and sometimes it disappears completely, but habits are stable and reliable. When you depend only on motivation, you will act only when you feel excited, and this is not enough for long-term success. Small steps help you build habits because they are simple and easy to repeat every day without feeling pressure. For example, if you want to improve your English, it is much better to practice for 20 minutes every day than to study for 5 hours only once a week. Daily repetition sends a clear message to your brain that this action is important, and slowly it becomes automatic. You no longer ask yourself, "Should I do it today?" Because it becomes part of your routine, like brushing your teeth. This is how small steps reduce decision fatigue and save your mental energy. Also, small habits are easier to protect. Even on busy or difficult days, you can still do a small action, and this keeps your progress alive. Missing one big action may feel like failure, but completing a small action gives you a sense of continuity and discipline. Another powerful effect of small steps is that they change your identity. When you repeat a small action every day, you start to see yourself differently. For example, if you write a few sentences every day, you begin to believe that you are a writer. If you exercise a little every day, you start to feel like a healthy person. This identity change is very important because your actions follow your beliefs. When you believe in your new identity, you naturally continue your habits without forcing yourself. In addition, small steps create a positive cycle. You do a small action, you feel good, and this good feeling encourages you to repeat the action again. Over time, this cycle becomes stronger and stronger, and stopping it becomes difficult. This is why small habits are more powerful than big plans. Big plans look exciting at the beginning, but they often fail because they are too difficult to maintain. Small steps may look simple, but they are consistent, and consistency is the real key to success. When you focus on doing a little every day, you remove the fear of failure and replace it with steady progress. In the long run, these small habits can lead to big achievements, not because they are fast, but because they are continuous. This is how ordinary actions, repeated daily, can create extraordinary results. Small steps are also powerful because they help you overcome fear, doubt, and overthinking, which are some of the biggest barriers to success. Many people do not fail because they are not capable, but because they think too much before they start. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect condition, and as a result, they delay action again and again. Big goals often create fear because they look difficult and far away, and this fear can stop you before you even begin. However, when you break a big goal into small steps, everything becomes more manageable and less stressful. For example, writing a whole book may feel impossible, but writing one page a day feels simple and achievable. This small action reduces pressure and makes it easier to take the first step. Starting is often the hardest part, and small steps make starting easier. Once you begin, you create momentum, and momentum is very important because it pushes you forward without needing too much effort. Another advantage of small steps is that they allow you to learn and improve gradually. When you take small actions, you make small mistakes, and small mistakes are easier to fix. This creates a safe environment for growth where you can experiment, adjust, and become better over time. In contrast, when you take big actions without preparation, the risk is higher and failure can feel more painful and discouraging. Small steps protect your confidence because they give you frequent success experiences. Each small success builds your belief in yourself, and this belief reduces doubt. Over time, you stop questioning your ability and start trusting your process. Also, small steps help you stay flexible. Life is not always predictable and plans can change, but when your actions are small, it is easier to adapt and continue. You do not need perfect conditions to move forward. You only need to take the next small step. This mindset removes excuses and replaces them with action. Instead of saying, "I will start when everything is ready," you say, "I will start now with what I have." This simple change can make a huge difference in your life. In addition, small steps keep your focus on the present moment instead of worrying too much about the future. When you focus on one small action at a time, you reduce stress and increase clarity. You know exactly what to do, and this clarity improves your performance. In the end, small steps turn fear into action, doubt into confidence, and ideas into reality, because they give you a clear and simple path to follow every day. Another deep and powerful truth about small steps is that they create long-term results through the power of time and consistency, even when you do not see immediate change. Many people give up too early because they expect fast results, but real growth is often slow and invisible at the beginning. When you take small steps every day, the progress may not be obvious in the first few days or even weeks, and this can feel frustrating. However, what is happening under the surface is very important. Your skills are improving, your habits are becoming stronger, and your mindset is changing. This hidden progress is like planting a seed. At first, you do not see anything above the ground, but with time and care, the seed grows into a strong plant. Small steps work in the same way. Each small action adds a little value, and over time, these small improvements combine to create big results. This is sometimes called the compound effect, where small efforts multiply and grow into something much larger. For example, if you improve just 1% every day, after a few months, the difference becomes very clear and powerful. Another important aspect of small steps is patience. When you understand that progress takes time, you become more patient with yourself, and patience helps you stay consistent. Without patience, people often quit because they think their efforts are not working, but in reality, they just need more time. Small steps teach you to trust the process instead of focusing only on the result. This mindset is very important for long-term success because it keeps you moving forward even when things feel slow. Also, small steps reduce burnout. When you try to do too much in a short time, you use a lot of energy, and this can lead to stress and exhaustion. But when your actions are small and manageable, you can continue for a long time without feeling overwhelmed. This sustainability is very important because success is not about short bursts of effort, but about long periods of consistent action. In addition, small steps help you build discipline, which is stronger than motivation. Discipline means doing what you need to do even when you do not feel like it, and small actions make discipline easier because they do not require extreme effort. Over time, this discipline becomes part of your character, and it supports you in all areas of life. Finally, small steps create a sense of direction and purpose. Even if your goal is far away, you know that you are moving closer every day, and this gives you hope and confidence. Instead of feeling lost or stuck, you feel active and in control. In the long run, these small daily actions shape your future in a powerful way, proving that big success is not built in one moment, but through many small, consistent steps taken over time. Small steps are powerful because they help you manage your energy and avoid feeling overwhelmed, which is one of the main reasons people stop working toward their goals. When a task looks too big, your brain reacts with stress, and instead of taking action, you delay or avoid it. This is a natural response because the mind tries to protect you from difficulty. However, when you break a big task into small, simple actions, your brain feels safe and ready to begin. For example, instead of saying, "I will clean the whole house," you can start with, "I will clean one table," or "I will organize one small area." This small action feels easy, and once you begin, it often leads to more action without pressure. This is how small steps reduce resistance and increase productivity. Another important benefit is that small steps help you stay focused. When you try to do many things at once or complete a big task quickly, your attention becomes weak and scattered. But when your goal is small and clear, your focus becomes stronger, and you can complete the task with better quality. Also, small steps allow you to take breaks and recover your energy, which is very important for long-term performance. Instead of feeling tired and exhausted, you feel balanced and in control. Over time, this balanced approach helps you do more work without feeling stressed. In addition, small steps help you understand your limits and build your capacity slowly. When you start small, you learn how much you can do comfortably, and then you can increase your effort step by step. This gradual growth is more sustainable than sudden, intense effort. Another key point is that small steps create a positive relationship with your work. When tasks feel too difficult, you may start to dislike them, but when tasks feel manageable, you enjoy the process more. This enjoyment is very important because it keeps you motivated naturally. Also, small steps give you more control over your time. You can fit small actions into your daily schedule easily, even on busy days, and this flexibility helps you stay consistent. For example, even if you have only 10 minutes, you can still take a small step toward your goal, and this keeps your progress alive. Over time, these small moments of effort add up and create meaningful results. Another advantage is that small steps help you stay calm and patient. Instead of rushing and making mistakes, you move carefully and thoughtfully. This improves the quality of your work and reduces the chance of failure. In the end, small steps are not only about making progress, but also about protecting your energy, improving your focus, and creating a healthy and sustainable way of working that you can continue for a long time. Small steps also improve your learning process and help you build real understanding instead of just quick results. Many people try to learn too much information in a short time, and while this may feel productive at first, it often leads to confusion and forgetting. The brain needs time to process, repeat, and connect new information, and small steps give your brain this time. For example, if you try to learn 50 new English words in one day, you may remember only a few, but if you learn 5 words every day and review them regularly, your memory becomes stronger and more stable. This is because repetition over time helps move information from short-term memory to long-term memory. Small steps also allow you to focus on quality instead of quantity. When you learn a small amount, you can understand it deeply, practice it, and use it in real situations. This deep learning is more valuable than shallow learning because it stays with you for a long time. Another important benefit is that small steps encourage active learning. Instead of just reading or listening passively, you can take small actions like writing sentences, speaking aloud, or testing yourself. These actions improve your skills faster because they involve practice and feedback. Also, small steps help you stay consistent in your learning journey. Learning is not a one-time activity. It is a continuous process, and consistency is more important than intensity. When you study a little every day, your brain stays connected to the subject, and this connection makes learning easier over time. In addition, small steps reduce frustration. When you try to learn too much and fail, you may feel discouraged, but when you learn small parts and succeed, you feel confident and motivated to continue. This positive feeling creates a strong learning habit. Another key point is that small steps help you track your progress clearly. When your goals are small, you can see your improvement more easily, and this gives you a sense of achievement. For example, finishing one lesson, understanding one concept, or solving one problem may seem small, but these small achievements build your confidence step by step. Also, small steps give you the chance to review and correct your mistakes regularly. Instead of waiting until the end and discovering many errors, you can improve continuously. This makes your learning more efficient and effective. Over time, these small improvements create a strong foundation of knowledge and skills. In the end, small steps turn learning into a simple, enjoyable, and powerful process that helps you grow steadily and achieve lasting success. Small steps are not only useful for personal growth, but also for building strong discipline and a successful lifestyle over time. Discipline is often seen as something difficult and strict, but in reality, it is built through small, repeated actions. When you take small steps every day, you train yourself to follow a routine, and this routine becomes part of your daily life. For example, waking up at the same time, studying for a short period, or doing a simple task every day may seem small, but these actions create structure and stability. Over time, this structure helps you manage your life better and achieve your goals more effectively. Another important aspect is that small steps make discipline easier to maintain. Big actions require a lot of effort and strong willpower, but small actions require less effort, so you can continue even when you do not feel motivated. This is very important because no one feels motivated all the time. Discipline means continuing even on difficult days, and small steps make this possible. Also, small steps help you build trust in yourself. Every time you complete a small task, you prove to yourself that you can keep your promises. This builds self-respect and confidence, which are essential for long-term success. Another benefit is that small steps help you create a positive lifestyle. When you repeat good actions daily, they become habits, and these habits shape your behavior and decisions. For example, if you develop the habit of reading, learning, or exercising regularly, these actions become natural parts of your life. Over time, your lifestyle changes without feeling forced or difficult. In addition, small steps help you stay organized and focused on your priorities. When you have clear, small goals, you know exactly what to do each day, and this reduces confusion and wasted time. Another key point is that small steps create long-term discipline because they are sustainable. You can continue them for months and years without feeling overwhelmed. This long-term consistency is what leads to real success. Also, small steps help you handle challenges better. When you are used to taking action every day, you become stronger and more resilient. You learn to continue even when things are not perfect, and this ability is very valuable in life. In the end, small steps build discipline, and discipline builds a strong and successful life. By focusing on small, consistent actions, you create a powerful system that supports your growth and helps you achieve your goals step by step. Small steps are not only useful for personal growth, but also for building strong discipline and a successful lifestyle over time. Discipline is often seen as something difficult and strict, but in reality, it is built through small, repeated actions. When you take small steps every day, you train yourself to follow a routine, and this routine becomes part of your daily life. For example, waking up at the same time, studying for a short period, or doing a simple task every day may seem small, but these actions create structure and stability. Over time, this structure helps you manage your life better and achieve your goals more effectively. Another important aspect is that small steps make discipline easier to maintain. Big actions require a lot of effort and strong willpower, but small actions require less effort, so you can continue even when you do not feel motivated. This is very important because no one feels motivated all the time. Discipline means continuing even on difficult days, and small steps make this possible. Also, small steps help you build trust in yourself. Every time you complete a small task, you prove to yourself that you can keep your promises. This builds self-respect and confidence, which are essential for long-term success. Another benefit is that small steps help you create a positive lifestyle. When you repeat good actions daily, they become habits, and these habits shape your behavior and decisions. For example, if you develop the habit of reading, learning, or exercising regularly, these actions become natural parts of your life. Over time, your lifestyle changes without feeling forced or difficult. In addition, small steps help you stay organized and focused on your priorities. When you have clear, small goals, you know exactly what to do each day, and this reduces confusion and wasted time. Another key point is that small steps create long-term discipline because they are sustainable. You can continue them for months and years without feeling overwhelmed. This long-term consistency is what leads to real success. Also, small steps help you handle challenges better. When you are used to taking action every day, you become stronger and more resilient. You learn to continue even when things are not perfect, and this ability is very valuable in life. In the end, small steps build discipline, and discipline builds a strong and successful life. By focusing on small, consistent actions, you create a powerful system that supports your growth and helps you achieve your goals step by step. Small steps are powerful because they improve your mindset and help you think in a more positive and realistic way about progress and success. Many people feel unhappy or disappointed because they compare their current situation with a big dream or a perfect result, and this creates a gap that feels too large to cross. When the gap looks too big, the mind becomes negative and says, "This is too difficult," or "I cannot do this." However, small steps change this way of thinking completely. Instead of focusing on the big distance, you focus on the next small move, and this makes the journey feel possible. When your goal becomes smaller and clearer, your mind becomes calmer and more focused. Another important effect is that small steps teach you to appreciate progress, not perfection. Perfection is often unrealistic and can stop you from moving forward, but progress is always possible, even if it is slow. When you complete small actions every day, you start to notice your improvement, and this creates a sense of satisfaction and pride. This positive feeling helps you continue without feeling pressure. Also, small steps help you develop patience, which is very important for long-term success. In today's world, many people expect fast results, but real growth takes time. Small steps remind you that success is a process, not a single moment. This understanding reduces stress and helps you enjoy the journey instead of only thinking about the final result. In addition, small steps help you build a growth mindset, which means believing that you can improve with effort and practice. When you see yourself making progress through small actions, you understand that change is possible, and this belief makes you stronger. Another key point is that small steps reduce negative thinking. When you take action, even a small one, you replace doubt with movement, and movement creates confidence. Instead of thinking too much about problems, you focus on solutions. Also, small steps help you stay present and mindful. When you concentrate on one simple task, You are not worried about the past or the future, and this improves your mental clarity. Over time, this mindset makes you more balanced and less stressed. Another benefit is that small steps help you celebrate small wins. These small wins may seem simple, but they are important because they show that you are moving forward. Celebrating these moments gives you energy and motivation to continue. In the end, small steps do not only change your actions, they change the way you think. And when your thinking improves, your whole life becomes more positive, focused, and meaningful. Small steps are very effective because they help you build resilience and the ability to continue even when you face challenges or difficulties. Life is not always smooth, and every person faces obstacles, failures, and unexpected problems. The difference between success and failure is often not talent, but the ability to keep going. Big plans can easily break when something goes wrong because they depend on perfect conditions, but small steps are flexible and strong. When your actions are small, it is easier to continue even during hard times. For example, if you cannot complete a big task because of stress or lack of time, you can still do a small part of it, and this keeps your progress alive. This ability to continue, even in a limited way, is very important because it prevents you from stopping completely. Another important point is that small steps help you recover quickly from failure. When you take big risks and fail, the emotional impact can be strong, and it may take a long time to start again. But when your actions are small, your mistakes are also small, and it is easier to learn from them and try again. This creates a mindset where failure is not something to fear, but something to learn from. Also, small steps help you stay consistent during difficult periods. When life becomes busy or stressful, you may not have the energy for big actions, but you can still take a small step, and this keeps your habit strong. Over time, this consistency builds resilience because you learn to continue under different conditions. Another advantage is that small steps help you develop problem-solving skills. When you face a challenge, you can break it into smaller parts and solve each part step by step. This approach makes problems less scary and more manageable. Also, small steps reduce the pressure of success. When you do not expect big results immediately, you feel less stress and more freedom to experiment and learn. This freedom helps you grow and adapt. In addition, small steps teach you persistence. Persistence means continuing even when progress is slow, and small steps make this possible because they do not require extreme effort. Over time, this persistence becomes a strong part of your character. Another key point is that small steps help you build emotional strength. Each time you continue despite difficulty, you become stronger and more confident in your ability to handle challenges. This emotional strength is very valuable because it supports you in all areas of life. In the end, small steps help you stay strong, flexible, and persistent, and these qualities are essential for long-term success and personal growth. Small steps are powerful because they help you build confidence in a natural and lasting way, not through sudden success, but through repeated proof that you can take action and move forward. Many people struggle with low confidence because they wait for a big achievement to feel good about themselves. But this approach is risky because big achievements take time, and without confidence, it is difficult to even start. Small steps solve this problem by giving you quick and regular experiences of success. Every time you complete a small task, no matter how simple it is, you send a message to your mind that says, "I can do this." This message may seem small, but when it is repeated many times, it becomes a strong belief. Over time, this belief turns into confidence. Another important point is that small steps remove the fear of failure. When a task is too big, the fear of making a mistake becomes strong, and this fear can stop you completely. But when the task is small, the risk feels low and you are more willing to try. This willingness to try is very important because confidence grows through action, not through thinking. Also, small steps allow you to improve your skills slowly, and as your skills improve, your confidence increases naturally. For example, if you practice speaking English for a few minutes every day, at first you may feel unsure, but after some time, you will notice that you can express your ideas more clearly, and this progress builds confidence step by step. Another benefit is that small steps help you create a positive inner voice. Instead of criticizing yourself for not doing enough, you begin to recognize your effort and progress. This positive self-talk is very important because it affects your emotions and your actions. When you speak to yourself in a supportive way, you feel stronger and more motivated. In addition, small steps help you trust yourself. Trust is built when you keep your promises, even small ones. When you say, "I will do this small task today," and you complete it, you build trust in your own ability. Over time, this trust becomes a strong foundation for confidence. Another key point is that small steps make challenges feel possible. When you see yourself completing small tasks regularly, you start to believe that bigger tasks are also possible, and this belief encourages you to take on new challenges. Also, small steps reduce comparison with others. Instead of looking at other people's big achievements, you focus on your own progress, and this keeps your mindset healthy and positive. In the end, small steps build confidence from the inside, creating a strong and stable belief in yourself that supports you in every area of life. Small steps are important because they help you create meaningful change in your life without feeling lost, confused, or overwhelmed. Many people want to change their lives, but they do not know where to start, and this uncertainty can stop them from taking action. When you focus on small steps, the path becomes clear and simple. You do not need a perfect plan or complete knowledge. You only need to decide your next small action. This clarity is very powerful because it turns ideas into real movement. Another important aspect is that small steps help you stay connected to your purpose. When you take action every day, even in a small way, you feel that your life has direction, and this feeling gives you motivation and meaning. Without action, even the best ideas lose their power. Also, small steps help you create change gradually, which is more stable and lasting than sudden change. When you try to change everything at once, the pressure is high, and it is difficult to maintain, but when you change one small thing at a time, your mind and your habits adjust slowly and naturally. This gradual change is more comfortable and more effective. Another benefit is that small steps help you discover what works best for you. When you take small actions, you can observe the results and adjust your approach. This process of testing and improving helps you find the most effective way to reach your goals. Also, small steps make change more personal and flexible. You can choose actions that fit your lifestyle, your time, and your energy level. This flexibility increases your chances of success because the process works with your life, not against it. In addition, small steps help you build a strong foundation for the future. Each small action adds value and prepares you for bigger opportunities. For example, learning a little every day may lead to new skills, and these skills can open new doors in your career or personal life. Another key point is that small steps help you stay patient and committed. When you understand that change takes time, you become more focused on the process, and this focus helps you continue even when progress feels slow. Also, small steps create a sense of control. Instead of feeling stuck or powerless, you feel active and responsible for your growth. This sense of control improves your mindset and your confidence. In the end, small steps turn your goals into a clear and achievable journey, helping you create real and lasting change in a simple and effective way. Now take a moment and think about this simple but powerful idea. Your future is not built by one big action, but by many small steps that you choose to take every day. You do not need to wait for the perfect time. You do not need to feel fully ready, and you do not need to make a huge change overnight. What you need is to start small and stay consistent. Even the smallest action you take today can become something meaningful tomorrow. Imagine where you can be after 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year if you continue to take small steps without stopping. The difference can be surprising. So instead of asking yourself, "How can I do everything?" ask a simpler and more powerful question. What is one small thing I can do today? Start with that one step and then repeat it tomorrow. This is how real change happens. This is how confidence grows, habits form, and success becomes possible. Remember, progress is not always fast, but it is always valuable. Do not ignore small actions because they look simple. They are the building blocks of something much bigger. Every page you read, every minute you practice, every small effort you make is creating your future little by little. Stay patient, stay consistent, and trust the process. If you found this message helpful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Daily English Audio for more simple and powerful ideas that can help you grow step by step. Your journey starts now, not tomorrow, not next week, but today with one small step.